Well, hello again, friends. It's been a while, but welcome. Thanks for joining another PrefectFLY Prefect 99 Concorde stream. Hopefully my volume levels will okay. Anyway, you find us back here in Mexico City, and we are off on a relatively short trip to LAX, which is looking uncontrolled and relatively busy. We are going to head west out over the ocean and then supersonic it once we've cleared land all the way up, then join the normal traffic, which looks like there's a fair few coming over from Honolulu, which is staffed up at the moment. May very well be our next destination after LAX. Anyway, it's going to be about 2 and a bit hours en route, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to get going. And what I might do is cheat and use the GUI, get everything set up that way and see how we get on. If you are watching, please say hi. Great to have you along for the trip. And if you please give it a thumbs up and sub if you want to see some more. So here we are, stand. I think this is 5.8. Like I say, nobody's online, so it doesn't really matter. I've just got the stairs and the carts. Nothing else to worry about. We've got 60 tons of fuel. The flight plan called for about 58, and that included a couple of tons extra. And I couldn't really be bothered to reduce it down too much. The zero fuel weight is pretty much bang on. So we'll see how we get on with the performance versus the sheet. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump in. Completely cold and dark. As you can see, status here. Ooh, 95 now. Fuel remaining now. I definitely changed it. Let's change that again, shall we? So payload 8834. That's fine. Ah, weird. Have 60 tons of fuel.
Status 60 tons.
There we go. That's more like it. Current gross weight 148. Takeoff 144. That makes a lot more sense. Excellent. Okay, so that's a lot better. As you can see, I'd really like, to be able to do turnarounds with this and that sort of thing. Anyway, we're not going to use that. We're going to use SIVA, which good is mapped and works. So we're not going to do any of those. Systems off. Let's get system started and see what happens. Don't want that way down. A bit strange. Trim is set to ground. Get the instrument lights on, get the panel lights on. Same over here. Let's see what we can get. Don't want the glare on. Center console on. There, nice and bright. Now, flow for takeoff. No. Let's get these back to standby. Good. That works. The control computers and everything are on. Good. Okay, so trim, that works. Throttles work. As do the reversers. Great. Interesting. Good position. Okay, so hey JB. That's right, thanks for joining. I hope you've been well. I hope you're not too impacted by all the chaos that is currently reigning. So, it being dark here, it's nice to be doing some chips daytime as well. So, thanks for joining. Don't worry about sticking around. Just, it'll be saved anyway, so you can jump into the stream later on and see the land. Hopefully be uneventful last time. I'm going to get 250 set for departure. Let's have a look at charts on the iPad. I'm going to get some of the nav aids set up. I keep saying this, but actually, what I should be doing is getting 9.5 back to position, and we need to open up the charts. I said we were on stand 5.8, didn't I? So parking gate coordinates, that's where we need them from. Oh yes, that was not great. So the approach into here was pretty awful. It was a very short turn to final, and yeah, getting everything configured. I probably should have been going gear down a bit early, but yes, that was all a bit of a mess. Trying to get the automation to get the airplane configured and lined up was all a bit of a rush. Need a bit of a longer final, and then the previous time was icing, which have now turbulence, which I've now turned down in active sky, as that is apparently a known thing. But never mind. Hopefully I'll land on the correct runway this time. Get a bit more stable a bit further out, but obviously the terrain around Mexico is pretty steep, so challenging approach. I wasn't quite expecting. Anyway, stand 5.8 alpha. Oh no, that's not how I do keyboard. Click there, don't I? Right, there we go. So 5.8 is north, which is 19255, and west, which is west 4997. So now we've popped that in nav mode, can zoom in and on. There we go. Align that, and this one. I'll put the waypoints in a moment. Yes, turbulence was the time before last when we ended up scraping the nav light on somebody's driveway, with the airplane going inverted and everything else, nothing to do with anything I'm doing, I promise. And I think that was pretty evident when we got back into the turbulent cloud layer. It was just not interacting particularly well. So I've turned that down until potentially it gets any better. Something known about, but certainly didn't. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the takeoff data. Runway 05 right here. And if we push back from pretty much where we are, we might have gone to Terminal 1. I can't remember where we parked last time, it was a bit of a while ago. 05 right is the closer, we'll take the full length available. And we've got 13,074. Reheat takeoff thrust. 17,3035 was the forecast QNH. And pop that in. Say 35. It was pretty high, yeah. You guys probably can't see that, but I can see those. 035 gives us, there's the elevation on this chart. 7316. Alright. Maybe a bit lower. Get an updated one. Yeah, definitely. Thanks. I'm glad you were shocked, and I'm glad it wasn't my sole error. So yeah, that was pretty horrific. But hey, we didn't die. I managed my best to save it. A bit like Zebo back in the day when flap over speed. I managed to have a bit of a noisy axis and got a flap over speed, and some difficulties controlling that on approach. That was fun. Again, wasn't fatal, but was hard work. So we're going to go 053 on both headings. Oh, that's the wrong one. 053. Okay. Departure wise, let's go VOR until 6 DME 053, yes. And then we want 174 till the 102 radial. And then Tulka. So, with that in mind, it's the Tulka 6 Alpha, turn right. So then it's 083 inbound. Oh, sorry, no, it's 083 radial, so 263 inbound. Go 053, then until 152. So we need the DME off that. So I'm going to pop 1, 2 over here. So we got 1143 Tulka, which I will pop back on here. 5, 9, and below 230. Okay. Not sure I'll be able to climb that quick. I can't do the climb gradient calculations, so yeah. Thanks, JMB. Yeah, dealt the cards I was given. And in reality, we would have taken out some power lines and stuffed it into the ground. But in the X-Plane world, we just kissed somebody's driveway. What a disaster to an end of a flight, but never mind. On the overhead, all of those are done. I do think I keep forgetting to do takeoff lights. All the auto throttles are on. They're not done in any particular order. Auto ignition's on. Throttle masters are all on main, aren't they? Looks like I know what I'm talking about here. Nav's on. The anti-collision on just yet. So I think just with a quick panel scan, it looks like everything done. There we go. Well, that works. Have a look at the IS. Yeah, that's coming down, isn't it? So that's aligning happily. The route. So, I am setting up the nav aids, but what I am going to do is pop in all of these waypoints because we've got them. So it's 60 ME. I might as well pop these in now before we start thinking about anything else. And I think I'll just do the cheating engine start to get us going. So, let's get this back to a waypoint. Waypoint 0 is where we are. Waypoint 1 is the Mexico, and I wouldn't normally put it in, but I am going to put it in. See how we get on. We might have to do direct waypoint change. I am going to put it in just because it's in the flight plan, and otherwise the numbers won't match up. And we're pretty much going to do them all the way down until we get to the VOR on arrival. So it's a Lena 7, Santa Catalina VOR. Then we're going to do the next waypoint, which is CFBK. Then there's a load of intermediate waypoints, but I'm just going to put in the Seal Beach VOR. So just crossing those off the flight plan, because it's in a straight line straight to the radial. Because we could even get away with not going. We'll go old school to the VOR and then put that in. So C takes us to waypoint 9, CFK. All of those can go. Tozek, Mando, they can all go. So that's done. So because there's quite a few waypoints, because we're putting in the intermediate airway waypoints, putting those, so it's going to have to add another. So we've got 2 cycles worth of waypoints to go. Anyway, cool. Okay, thanks, JB. So this is the boring bit anyway. Waypoint 1 is the VOR. The Mexico VOR, not Mexico City. So keyboard mode for this. It's 01263. West 9 1. That is waypoint 1. Switch to waypoint 2. North 19232. West 98543. 3 is 9199. West 9092. 4 is 1920. West 9337. 208. West 1102. That's Zarko. 8.6 19226. 01078. We are getting further and further west. It's Tuzas. It's all quite close together, of course, because they are waypoints. 8.7 is 19237. Just 102825. 8 is north 1213. 0234. Waypoint 6 5 3 3 4 7. That's as far as we can go. Now, where is our acceleration point? So we are going to accelerate pretty much after Zlo, which we haven't even got there on the waypoints yet. So this takes us 300 odd miles. So we've got a bit of time to put some more as we get sort of halfway along these, but they are obviously 0 nautical miles from pretty much where we are. 10, 14, 23, 25, 64, 52, 30, 57. They're all quite close together. So once we get to about 5, we can put another chunk of 5 in. 2, 3, 5. So I'm just marking these off on the flight plan. So it's 1800 odd mile trip, and we've probably only got about 750 supersonic, so whatever. Let's go back to waypoint 1. Let's go to system 005 so we can get into nav mode. I'm going to do it this way around, they are all green. Nav, 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 green went out. There we are, distance time to me is most useful one. Pop that back. So, I think, just get the weather. It's 3029. $10,000, I think we're just going to go straight up to 28. Not sure what our optimum climb is. It's about as good as I can manage. Going to turn those up. Don't think there's any others to turn up. So let's get the airplane secure. Let's get pushed back. Is there anything else that I need to do? Yes, I think I need to have a look at some of these. So the fuel flow bugs. Easiest plan to read. So should be 13.2. out there. So it's also useful to have something like moderate climb engaged just in case we need it. Anti-noise is 7. Flow, I think. Should be 16.1, but we've got 15.7 as well. Does that sound about right? Let me just look on the card. Noise abatement N2, so it's 111 seconds, 17.1 on the throttle angle, which we're not going to pay attention to, but noise abatement N2, 95.3, 250 knots. Fuel flow on number 4 is slightly less. So that's why we bug that now. We bug these, but obviously it would be easy for the engineer more than 16.1. Seven. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Okay, that'll do. And I think in reality, if you didn't set those, that you wouldn't get the green ready to go lights. So, with those, of course we can't set any of the timers. Picking up the VOR. Suppose. Well, the 4.3 we've got. Actually, we want 263 inbound, don't we? Or 4.3. 263. Getting pulled out on that. Good. Radio panel. That's your mic switch, I found out. But it doesn't work on it. Those off. Set 2000. Yeah, what the comms are going to be if we get anything. Interesting, we can't hear anything on. Whatever. Anyway. Those flight controls. Okay, yes, you shouldn't do them on the cable. So, let's get the airplane secured. GPU and I did have those set, and the stairs. Guess maybe because we moved. So, get the engine started. I think it does it a little bit too quick. Better push back. Let's just do something like that.
Ground to cockpit. Canon knowledge. Coming through the menu when you are ready. Ground to cockpit. Tau is driving up.
Great. Guess those bugs are set. So we're set to red. Don't need anything on to start with. That should be set to arm, there we go. Train master all on. I think I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I'm sure I've probably missed something. What I do need to do is set the trim.
All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Trim is something like 2.5. It is. Seems like quite a long way. Controls. So that's set, ready for the noise.
Start connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
So we can't do that just yet. Oh, I think we should have pushed back a little bit further. Nah, we'll be alright. It's all Bravo and Alpha. XTO City traffic, Speedbird Concorde 613. Push and start, stand 58, face north. So, still set to...
Mexico City traffic, Lufthansa 498, turning to final, localize as alive, land landing 5 right.
Alright. Good. Okay, so... Don't know why they just changed all my lights. So, there you go. Those engines are starting up a bit too quick if you ask me.
Starting pushback.
Whoa. No idea what just happened there. Somebody should be bound to this runway. Didn't see them yet. So, still a bit stuttery. Look at that, stonking frame rate, but those stutters, they're really noticeable. They certainly are to me anyway. No, okay, we're dragging the cart with us, great. That's probably a bit keen on the engine start. Why is 4 hanging a little bit higher? Those on. So throttle, the pumps are on. Now I hope the airplane is configured correctly. Well, the brake fans have not been, and I guess thankfully it doesn't matter. Should the cross bleed be shut? So conditions are all on. Off. Close to ground idle. I think the DA is on, and that should be.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Yeah, there's a big old Lufthansa bird. You made a better approach of it than I did. Anyway, that's pretty much where we're going. Threshold of the runway's down here, but the start is back there. It irritates me somewhat that the mod fiddles with the lights. See everything. So I'm told that Concorde didn't actually use the lights much, other than the turn-offs.
Tower is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
So, main climb. Throttles on, auto ignition's on, ratings for takeoff. Let's go city traffic, speedboat Concorde 613, taxiing from stand 58 via Lima Alpha to runway 05 via Alpha 1. So I think the taxiways are very confusing here. We're actually going to go Alpha 4 Echo and then Alpha 1. So that'll be straight ahead, to second left, follow the diagonal to the end. So let's get the nose to 5.
198 crossing runway 5 left.
So we've self-cleared for taxi. We're going to go up to 2,800 after 28,000 after takeoff. Brakes off. There's no config to check. Let's get the airplane rolling. So, are on blue. Sure that is full deflection. West.
Fuel trim 2, takeoff.
So Alpha 4, yes, crossing Juliet, left on Echo. There we go, we'll go ground speed down here. So there we go, we've got just the turn off lights to add some visibility. A left here. Oh, that stuttering is such a shame. So we're going to hang a right here, not a full right, but a sort of 45-degree right. As you can imagine, taxiing this thing onto the grass, the nose wheel sat behind you. That's better, isn't it? Just look like I know what I'm doing. So we are going to be a bit heavy for departure. So should be 153. I think these speeds are all over the place, although we are a bit heavier, but not that much heavier. So here we are, holding Alpha 1. There is the end of the runway with the starter extension. The lights that shouldn't be there. Everything else is on top. Water throttle's on. Don't think it's to do with the cabin. The lights are all on. Can transponder on. Probably should have done that after pushback and the out reporting now, so good thing to do next time. Contingency, yes. So let's see how we go on. We might do 280 on departure, but we'll see how we get on for the noise abatement. So the departure is going to be straight ahead 053 runway heading until 60 ME, which is here on the Mexico VOR. We are then going to turn right. It says max 200, we can't comply with that. We just won't fly otherwise. We're going to do a right turn at 60 ME to go direct to Delta 102 Juliet, so I might have to do some SIVA tweaking very quickly there, which is radial 102. Effectively a turn right to 174. Let's pop that in here. 174. And once you get to that point, it's a turn right, intercepting the Tulka VOR 63083 rate. That's pretty much it. Let's have a look on the radar, and we are picking up the DME off the second one, but obviously nothing on there. HSI here is Mexico City. It's a 4 or 5 hour flight in reality. Just refresh. Stanza is on stand. Nobody appears to be in the local area, so I've got the chart and we are off and ready. Mexico City traffic, speedbird Concorde 613. Lining up, taking off runway 05 right for a Tulka 6 Alpha departure. Brakes off. Lights on, we're not going to do any of the others.
Have a nice flight.
Thank you, and I hope you had a good one too. So I don't think the takeoff was done with the flight director. That off, having that on guidance previously. Going to follow RAD and then we figure out where we are going. So we are airborne. Could be a bit of a mess. So everyone can hear us. We're not receiving on COM2. Not that that's the end of the world. So big long turn here. Go. There's that big old lifty. Wasn't a bad turn. Could be a bit better, but bad. So brakes on and holding, nothing to stabilize. So we are looking initially for about 13 degrees pitch up, and it's probably going to be a bit higher than that. Speed set 189. Okay, that's more like 200 though. So we should be ready. Brakes off.
3, 2, 1, now.
Go. Power set. There's the reheats.
Airspeed building. 100 knots.
Power set.
V1. Rotate.
Ooh,
V2.
it was taking a lot of pitch up.
Positive climb.
And she's a bit twitchy.
Gear coming up.
So 13 seems to be working quite well. Let's get 250.
Gear up. Doors locked. 250 knots.
Go well. She's really twitchy. Still got 60 ME to go. The aeroplane is struggling to maintain that. All over the place, so let's maintain 280. And I'm going to need some automation, so let's go. Whoa! Wow. Okay, we are set for takeoff, so not quite sure what's going
10,000 feet. 10,000 feet.
on. Okay.
Optimum subsonic cruise at 28,000 feet.
Oh, wow.
0.95. Reheat off.
Right, let's get the reheats off. The airplane is twitching all over the place. Never used to handle this badly, so I wonder if something has gone wrong recently. Or certainly with the 1.2 update, getting a bit slow. There's 6 DME, let's at least try and follow the SID. It's incredibly difficult this at the moment. Very slow. So, let's get some automation in. We want, let's go heading hold, vertical speed, IS acquire, and autopilot on. Go right 174, well I wanted it to just wings level. Pretty terrible departure, but I mean, that's me hand flying it, and I can hand fly, but the aeroplane was not particularly keen on that. Yeah, we pretty much had the noise abatement timing okay. I think we've got the vertical speed set there. Out acquire for 28. Lights can come off. Definitely need to get the nose up. Whoa, what went on with the nose? I'm really struggling to descend there. Sorry, to speed up. There we go, there's 280. Go max climb for 280. I think actually we can go to 350 now. And I am well behind on this departure, so I want to go 1143, 263. That's not bad. Just about gone through it. How's that for? Okay, that was me moving the airplane about earlier. Yeah, you can see how awful that was, but you know what? Okay, we got back on target. Let's get inbound to the VOR, and then I will essentially just go present position.
10,000 feet. Optimum subsonic cruise at 28,000 feet. Max 0.95. Reheat off.
Okay, those calls were all over the place, weren't they? The trim setting didn't help. Go out acquire max climb. And we can set 2992. So, end rating. We can go to flight. Let's roll off.
Subsonic cruise at 28,000 feet.
No idea what's going on there.
0.95. Reheat off.
So I am going to have to do some figuring out as to why exactly the aeroplane was so twitchy, is so twitchy on takeoff and departure. So let's get the aeroplane a bit more efficient, closer to the barber pole. Like I say, guys, I think if you watch the earlier streams, yeah, that's why I'm having trouble landing. She's just so twitchy that I'm pretty sure experimental mode is not on. We'll be able to go to Mac hold in a minute. So 24 DME. Once we're inbound. switch. Interesting cloud layer. Oh, there's that fun terrain again. Not sure what these interesting artifacts are. Outer core, so we will level off. Nice to be at the cloud level. And cold at 0.95. Again, not sure if 28,000 is the optimum. Let's just get a few more knots. Go. Oh, on the back hold, there we go. Ugh. There we go, Mac hold. So, out hold. Pop this up to 60. We are currently going from 3 to 4. And I think we to 3 to 4 is good. So let's switch over. Perfect. Airplane managed to figure that out. I thought I was going to have to update that, but 3 to 4 is exactly where we want it to be. There we are overhead the VOR on 4 to 5. Bingo. There you go, so it does work. Bit of a wide turn, but I suppose we were going a bit quick, so I think if I hadn't had those issues on departure and it had flown relatively smoothly, we'd have probably been okay. You can see us there starting to follow that airway. And what were we overhead? 1919. We are now off to waypoint 5. Last 2 minutes. I'm just going to log these. I haven't got the flight plan, the timings and everything to worry about, unfortunately. But I did say that all those points were going to come around relatively quickly. Have one from outside, shall we? Great, so we've got some sound balkage as well. Never mind. So we've got a bit of a long old way to the coast. ZLO is our acceleration point. That's 332 track miles total. So all the way out there in the distance. 0.95. So what I am going to do is update a few of these waypoints. You can't do the one you're on, so we won't go that far. Waypoint 1 can be updated. That's MEX-LAX. So waypoint 1 north. 1, 2, 3. West 04081. I think we just went over current waypoint. 64, yeah, 64 miles to waypoint 6. So waypoint 2, again, some cloud. 19,090, just 104,343. And then waypoint 2 will be our acceleration point. Now we're on the oceanic stuff, which is 2100 west 1100. Waypoint 4 north 25000 west 115000, and we'll stop there. Not wanting to have those out of sequence. So 5-6 minutes on that. Doing 572 knots, we're still going a lot faster than the 7.3. Some clouds, some haze. Start thinking about the supersonic acceleration. About 7 degrees nose up to start with. So ZLO is 6.9. Picking that up yet? Where do we just go overhead? Zarko. We're on our way to Tuzas. Gonna go over Urupan VOR and then Colima VOR. So 114 Urupan. Can't say that, never mind. And up the coast we will go. Taking a little bit of a longer route than direct. Wonder if it'll make much difference. Anyway, let's let the packs go. Suppose we'd use no smoking for the cabin crew these days. So we got the DME for the VORs, we got the INS track distances, and as we said, we're on our way from 5 to 6. 2.5 minute hits ever so slow. So X-Bale, Hector, 30,000 feet. Is he going? TO, a bit further ahead of us, a little bit higher, doing half the speed we are, so we might catch up with him. Might just be overhead. TBM 9. You never know, we might get to see him. So MMSD, I don't know where that is. I can see it on the map, but I don't know what airport it is, and no idea if he's going direct. Quite sure what he's doing, to be honest, but we might just about see him. There you go, you can see him there. He's not on the airway. It'd be nice if he sees an actual Concorde going past him. We should have TCAS. That is TCAS in reality, but don't. Sadly, he's just off the airway, so I don't know what he's doing. So 27 overhead. Certainly not catching at the sort of speeds we're used to. Quite sure what that sort of distance is. Now if I click on him, no, it doesn't give us a distance, etc. That was one thing we needed to turn off, wasn't it? It was head shake. .281, so he is only 2,000 feet above. Even when you know where to look, you struggle. Maybe he's a bit too far away. That's a shame. Would have been nice to do some subsonic overtaking. So I've still got 1169, which I thought was correct. Let's have a look on the chart. 69 is. Should be picking up ZME. Try 1177. Okay, 119 miles to Colima. So probably just a little bit too far out for picking up. And the Nilo. I wonder why he's not following an airway. Up going off over here somewhere. So straight line GPS, no idea. TBM9. Oh, is it one of those Discovery on FS 2020? Oh, I suppose it wouldn't be online, would you? Darko GDF42. Okay, so he's MSFS and he is following airways. Pass. Not sure what airways he's following. Anyway, I mean, it's pretty boring subsonic as well, isn't it? So Manzanillo 074, which is 254. So we've still got quite a long way to the coast. I don't think there's wasn't really any. We could have gone southwest rather than west to get to the coast and then accelerated. Would we have made up that time? Don't know. I bet there's probably some sums you could do, aren't there? Of course, you're going 4 times faster. So, what do we do with the vertical speed? So I think pitch index initially, because it's not doesn't really. Max climb seems to go a little bit wobbly. So I set to like 3. So what? Oh no, there we go. So there's 5 degrees. I think something like. See how we get on with 7, because I think people have said that it is overpowered. We've got to start thinking about going on another couple of waypoints. So waypoint 5 and 6 we can do. Point 5. North 223. West 120 000. Take 5 off. Waypoint 6. North 32285. 355. So, waypoint 7, 36, and that was the UPN VOR TACRO, so we should be going along 258. Is it a straight line? Pretty much a straight line, 30-mile leg for intersection. 77 is the Colimata VOR, and then number 1 is our acceleration point. Get the waypoints done again. 0.7331. So 3311. West 118.102. Do some reading about the landing lights, and the landing lights on Concorde were 600 watt bulbs. Taxi lights were 450. There were time limits on how long you could pop them on for, which I thought was pretty incredible. Well, the scenery's looking a bit better out here, isn't it? Coming up to the coast. I think the Ortho, although it's like zoom level 14, is still really good. And I would even argue no worse than 2020. I mean, at least you can stream it, but you know what, if Lamina managed to get some form of Ortho streaming, sort the weather out, get the weather depiction a bit better. I have a feeling they're going to go for the eye candy and lighting and things. But if they could, yes, lighting would be nice. Sort out the stutters with Siva plugin would be ideal. I know that's not their bag, but the weather generation would be, well, the depiction, get the clouds nice and volumetric and fluffy, get the lighting, get the terrain, and then they've got an equally competitive product. I'll try this week, maybe the weekend, to do some more FS 2020. The feel of that's a bit weird, but maybe I need to recalibrate my controls, have a look at those, because I've been feeling pretty weird and twitchy, so I haven't flown the Zebo for a while. So I will do some FS 2020 streams, just because my subscription will be coming to an end at the end of the month, and I don't think it's worth £8 a month. If I wanted FS 2020, I'd buy it. But, I don't really particularly think it's worth the money. Okay, the GA might be fun, but as we saw with the lessons and everything else, it looks nice. Okay, the landing challenges might be fun, but it's going to take a bit of time to get to where it needs to be, in my opinion. Bit of a steep old turn. So, 9-1. Means we were overhead at 42, give or take. So, waypoint 7, 311 we did. So we can take over to waypoint 8, only 8, North 33225, 252. Could try and do a DME update to get rid of that alert, but I haven't tried that yet. I don't want to break it. So, oh no, there we go. It's on again. So, been pretty light. 60 at 5, a little bit of a tailwind. Of course we've got our ground speed, but I don't think there is a calibrated airspeed. Anyway, 35 miles to the coast, you can just see it out here. There is the Pacific Ocean. A bit of terrain out there. So 21 miles to go. I don't think it gives me a distance on that leg. Oh yeah, it does, 25. So back to 1 to 2. I've done waypoint 8. 33225 or 252. So that'll get us to the Santa Catalina VOR, and then EVGA. Didn't even say that. That is waypoint 9, and that's going to be 3312. It's 11728. And that pretty much gets us right to the point where we need to be. I may put one more in. I may put the VOR in just so we can have that transition between the two. It's going to take us to the SLI VOR. We could, I suppose, put LAX in as well, but it matters. Be number 1 again. 6 miles to go. We can think about that in the cruise. Well, we are in the cruise, we can think about that in the super cruise. We are going a bit of a long way off shore. That is us overhead. Ooh, that's a bit keen. Okay, maybe we won't accelerate just yet because we've got a little bit of terrain beneath us. Lovely bit of country there, Pacific coast, nice beaches. So, quite that close to the coast, but hey, I have been wrong before. 21, 0 north. It's 2-1. 0, yeah. So while we're just waiting until we cross the coast a bit, I'm going to pop in as waypoint 1, SLI VOR. There we go. So 309 miles, 325. Let's get the shot on the road. A little bit close to the coast. Have a look. Okay, fair enough. So, auto throttle Mac hold off. We are going to go to pitch hold. That's us accelerating already. We've only moved the throttle a smidge. As you can see, we haven't even kicked in the reheat yet.
feet. Auto throttle off.
Fuel trim to flight. Wrong fuel trim. Should I change it?
Mach 1 passed. Mach overspeed warning.
Don't think it
Throttle
is.
back or climb.
So, as we said, a little bit overpowered. I was aiming for the barber pole there. Oh, let's go to about 4 degrees. Almost impossible to follow that, even with automation in. Let's go max climb. Out to acquire. Still not perfect. Never mind.
Mach 1.3. Ramps moving confirmed.
so it should be right up against that needle to be most efficient.
Feet.
Because we are accelerating so quickly, I've done something right. 0.7, reheat's come off. Plane should reduce that pitch up. Now I shouldn't have to Mac hold, but I think I do.
Feet.
So much reheat time under 5 minutes, which is good.
Passing Mach 2.
There we go, and the Mac hold. There we are, still quite light and therefore still climbing. Oh, we should have gone San Francisco. Centers online. LAX tower and the ATIS. So the ATIS is 133. And tower is 12095. So there is a 777 inbound to LAX from CEL. Don't even know where that is, I should know. And they are currently doing 500 knots over the ground, which I think is relatively quick, to be honest. Don't know what they cruise at. Good God, 8 hours. Santiago. It's a long old trip. Ah, Los Angeles Center. Controlling from Singapore is now online, which is 1258. So 2 to 3 is where we are going. 2 to 3. We're going to be there in 6 minutes.
Fuel status, 40 tons.
So we are going to decel 150 from MALIT, which means we've got about 750 miles, another 45 minutes. So fuel seems to be reasonable for that. So just reading the ATIS information echo 23012. 25 left and 24 right, so that's ideal for us, 25 left. Whoa, Seal Beach is going to take us a long way out. So that's where it's going to get us, and then vectors in for one on our one GPS. Vectors to final. Lots of step down fixes. So what I might do is get the ILS tuned up because we're going to navigate our way around. Be inbound to Seal Beach and then sort it out from there. So 251, 109. No traffic near us. So, distance-wise for our arrivals, we're going to be joining the arrival. The Lena 7, as I said, takes us to the Santa Catalina VOR. Turbojet's 250, or as assigned, we'll ask for high speed if we can take it. We should be at 12,000 by then. So MALIT to GOATZ is 63 miles. GOATZ is 17 miles to the VOR, then 30 miles to the initial inbound bit where there's loads of holds. They might give us direct Seal Beach. And to final. So is 27 in the sector we're coming in on. 42 to the west, 700 to the north, around Van Nuys and Burbank. It's quite a bit of terrain out that way. Oh, interesting, catching the airplane. Going over the top now, 30 degrees at Mach 2. I'm told the radius of turn is 50 miles, so even a relatively small change makes a big difference. 6:4, 19 minutes. So let's just double check we're going to the right place. It is a bit of a turn. We are going 290 to 311. And gone round 311, so it hasn't quite anticipated picking that up. So it hasn't. That is the point at which we should have been going over, and so did a little left when actually we should have started straight right to intercept that arc, maybe even turn slightly. Anyway, doesn't slow us down. I think only the inboard elevons move, so I think I'm correct in saying that that is incorrect. At supersonic, only those two move. So it seems to have struggled a bit with that, but never mind. So 311. But yeah, quite a change in direction. We're going to have this weird S-turn all the way. Well, there we go, the aeroplane sorted itself out just about, but you can see there that looks like the sort of curve we wanted, an intersection between the two. That left turn really didn't help. So that needs a bit of tweaking. I don't think there's anything I can do with the auto. No pilot modes in PlaneMaker or anything. Yeah, guys, since there's three of you, I know JMB has got it on in the background, but if you are watching, say hi. Give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying a lot of flying going on. So, put number 1 in, we'll put LAX in to waypoint 2. West 245, that's the aerodrome reference. So at least that'll take us pointing directly towards the aerodrome. Right, I'm going to go away from the screen for a minute. I'm just going to leave Seaver up so I've got an idea of times. Right, so we haven't got long to go for this one. And then it's just a case of where to descend, I think 150 miles before MALIT. But actually maybe 100 before, so that we're sort of time on target at GOATZ. Even if we're steaming in at that point, which is one of the points on the arrival. I suppose if we were subsonic by GOATZ, no, that's cutting a bit close. We'll go subsonic at MALIT, and then we've got 63 miles, expect 12,000. We'll see how we go. Is MALIT in the Los Angeles FIR? Center looks it, but we'll be decelerating by then, so we'll still be licking it in. That stops them interfering a bit, which is good. And it's probably a realistic point as well. Hello Matty, good to see you again. I'm keeping well, thank you very much for asking, and I hope you are too. Yeah, I'll have to get into the 7.3 at some point, but it's just a completely different world of analog gauges, and I think I read somewhere today that the fuel consumption for Concorde was twice that of the 7.4 Classic at the time. Now obviously that aeroplane carried a lot more people, but this one carried them twice as fast, and you know, effectively for the same fuel consumption. So yes, you'd get five times the people, although you wouldn't really, would you? You'd get 350, and so 3.5 times more expensive per seat, but those are of the same ilk as today, and so while it hoovers up the fuel now, it went twice as fast for double the fuel. So the Concorde used to handle really, really well, but ever since 11.5 and Concorde 1.2, it's just been all over the place for me. I don't know if you saw the departure earlier, it was awful. And I was having the same sort of issues with on landing, which with the tight approach into Mexico last time didn't really help, leading to landing on the wrong runway, but we don't talk about that. I can live with the disaster that was the turbulence and the icing. Well, it was just the turbulence and almost dying as a weather engine issue, but the airplane is really not handling well. Certainly when I was flying it before, it would just be right on the button. Airplane would fly wonderfully. Even the turns are sort of twitchy. It's really twitchy in pitch, pretty twitchy in roll, so yeah, disappointing sadly. But I still think it's well worth having in your hangar because, like I've said before, it's just an incredible machine. Conceived at the time of the original 7.3, conceived at the time of the 7.4, and just incredible. Anyway, this is us coming over our turning point at 2.5. So 4.4. So we've got about 25 minutes until top of descent really, or at least decel point, because it isn't descent, it's level for quite a while. Like you saw, if you saw the initial acceleration, I think it's pretty overpowered as well. So we should now be on 313. Yeah, honestly, it wasn't me, I promise. So I don't know if it's something I need to do, I don't know. Anyway, I might be doing a PC upgrade at some point once the NVIDIA cards are in stock. Wait for Big Navi, see how that turns up. Ryzen 3 is looking very promising. I'd like to see some benchmarks there. Yeah, I hope I'll get used to it because it was fun to hand fly it. I did some circuits around Heathrow, you know, back on the previous versions, and apart from X-plane crashing betas, it was quite good. So yeah, maybe a new PC will lead to a reinstall of X-plane. maybe that's a good thing to do anyway. Got the it can be so tedious once you've got a lot of things set up and running. Ortho's easy enough to recreate, but you know, setting plugins up and all of that is a little bit of a pain. And of course those are the ones you want to take out to start from scratch to see what was causing the issue, so I'm sure we'll get there. Yeah, the Airbus, you know what, I mean, Concorde and yeah, Airbus ended up being the type rating holder for the Concorde, and so I think there was a lot of overlap, you know, with the thinking, the red, green, the green, blue, yellow hydraulic systems. I'm pretty sure that it's not modelled in this, but Concorde AP Disco is the same as Airbus. So there are a lot of those similarities. And, I think I would give it a go. I don't know if you saw, I've definitely had a go at the Airbus in FS 2020, but of course that is terrible. I like that somebody is doing a Zebo-esque project on it, which I think is really good, and the fact that you can mod things on the new FS 2020 is also good. So yeah, I think I looked at getting one of the buses, but between Tola's flight factor, I wouldn't want to go down the wrong path, and they're not cheap as well. This Concorde was not particularly expensive, I think, because I got it on sale, and that's why I consider it worthwhile having, because I don't really have a lot of payware. I got Siva, that was about $12 US. That was worth it, just because it's good. Shame about the stutters, but it's really good. So yeah, I mean, I think the trouble is with Zebo, you're spoiled for, you know, very effective jet for very free. Even though I think I don't know how much I've given Zebo, but I've given him some money, a reasonable amount. Okay, well, it's good to see that you're doing a PPR, Matthew, and yeah, I think X-Plane's good for VFR, and obviously it's a bit more robust for airliners at the moment. And yeah, if you're finding it useful, it's just very easy to get into the habit of staring at instruments because you've not got any feeling when using desktop sims. But actually, it is really good for practicing, you know, especially if you've got good scenery. It's really, really useful for practicing nav and proving to yourself that heading the stopwatch works, getting your eyes out. And if you can do that and estimate diversions, just eyeballing it, once you get happy doing things like that, it's really, really useful. I certainly found it really useful for practicing nav routes, looking out for things. So yeah, getting that 152 or the 172 and enjoy it. And if the handling is relatively stable, then that helps all the more. I mean, it is useful to have an autopilot just to keep it on heading, but yeah, I mean, it's really good for being able to, you know, practice a route that you're potentially going to be doing. So good, I hope you're doing well with that. And as it's coming up to winter, certainly here, it's really good for get your exams done, out of the way. Yeah, that's what you need. A cheap sim, just like X-Plane with Zebo. A cheap sim for you know, going through the procedures and not even necessarily doing the same sort of stuff. I might speak to a couple of airline buddies. Not even just the fact of practicing emergencies or practicing things you do in the real airline sim, but just the fact that you can get ATC for free to fly about, and just getting into the habit of thinking in 3 dimensions, thinking ahead of the aeroplane, thinking ahead of the automation, getting in to do stuff, and then having to interact with ATC. The fact that you've got some that you're by yourself adds some pressure as well, and actually gets you thinking and gets you working. So I certainly found it useful getting back into X-Plane before I got my single engine piston rating back, because luckily the EASA PPL doesn't expire. So although I hadn't flown SEP since 2012, got it back last year, so 7 years. Just getting back into the swing meant it was only a couple of hours back with an instructor before I was ready and raring to go again. So very useful tools, especially for the money. And things like being able to link SimBrief in, not SimBrief, I use SkyDemon, so being able to link that in and get used to using the functions, getting used to using, you know, if you had a G1000 in the airplane, for instance, getting used to using that, it's really, really useful. Even if it's not completely accurately modelled, just, you know, playing around with it rather than doing it in the air for a lot of money per hour. So yeah, with you there. And like I say, add VATSIM in and some ATC to chuck it in the mix, and you've got enough to keep your head busy in 4 dimensions, which is what you need. And of course, no virtual COVID grief, so you can go places. So we are coming up waypoint 5, which is north 29, west 120. Then it's MALIT. So we're going to have a big old turn at this one, so this could be a disaster again. We've got almost 60 degrees to go through. I might go for heading on this, so we're going round to 006. Oh no, that's not 60 degrees, what am I talking about? Oh no, it's not far off though, is it? 10, 20, 30, 50. It's a big old turn. What's that up there? Star, a planet. Ah yes, the dreaded exams, although I don't think you have to do them in sittings anymore, which was really stupid, because obviously when I did mine you could do them, I just did one every week, which got them out of the way. Obviously you've got to do airborne before you go solo, so that's one that people tend to do first. Yeah, at least they're online now, which helps. But yeah, all I would say is get the books, learn the stuff, and I think I just did one a week pretty much to get them all out of the way. Just read through the book one night, do a few practice questions, make sure your head's in it. Bit of revision on the Saturday morning is what I would do, and do the exam in the afternoon, and keep it steady. Don't try and cram it too much, because you don't need to do them all in. You don't need to do like 3 exams in one sitting. You can just, assuming that there aren't sittings, because I don't think there are, you can just actually learn the material rather than just doing it to pass it. So yeah, that'll stand you in good stead, and now's the ideal time to get them all out of the way when you haven't got to worry about doing any flying in between, and then you focus on the flying. So yeah, do some videos as well if you can, to be honest. This year I was going to start flying again. Obviously COVID stopped that, and we could start flying again, but there's not much point if you can't really go anywhere or take anyone. And certainly thinking about getting a couple of GoPros or imitation GoPros and putting those on the channel as well. So yeah, good luck with it all. It's certainly a worthwhile hobby, and yeah, just keeps your brain engaged. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think the PPL exams matter in the grand scheme of things. I don't even know if I'd still have my results. I know MET was pretty poor for me, but as long as you pass them, you want to get them out of the way. And it's good to get a nice high average because you're nice and confident with it, but even if you're only passing in the 80s, I don't think they count for anything later on, so it doesn't matter in that sense. But obviously still something to aim for. And I think there's a delicate balance. Certainly when I was instructing, you could see some of the kids that studied all the theory, a lot of the theoretical knowledge, but lacked a lot of the practical stuff, and then vice versa. I did my PPL back in 20... well, it's sat here by my desk. Let's get Siva up. Just got 120 miles. It's going to take about 6 minutes because we've got a ground speed of 1142 and 117, so 1/10 of an hour, 6 minutes. That's good for your speed distance time approximations. It's all pretty much guesswork in the air, being a professional guesser. So I actually started gliding with the Air Cadets in, I must have done my course in 2004, I think. Don't actually have that logbook. I got my PPL logbook. Or maybe I did it in 2005. Did do it in 2005, so trying not to give away my age here, although I probably will end up doing so. So certainly went solo before I could drive a car, so I went solo in a glider at 16. And then the Air Cadets gave me 12 hours in the 152 in Dundee. That was in 2005, so I was on solo then. And then I didn't do any flying until 2010, although I continued to fly gliding, well, motor gliders and instruct, hence the Prefect Callsign. And then decided I wanted to get my PPL in 2011. Did my PPL in 2011. Did it
60,000 feet.
Did it
Maximum flight
did it in
level.
about finished it off in 2 weeks really. So I had the 12 hours with the cadet scholarship. I did about 10 hours with a friend of mine who was a BA pilot and an instructor, and then finished off about 20 hours and did the exams over that period in the winter as well, I think. Let me just have a look. So summer, so I must have August 2011. Oh no, so I mean I was doing it whilst flying as well, I think, to get rid of the exams out of the way. Or yeah, I did them in 2010. Why are we going too fast?
Auto throttle off.
Now back. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention, looking through the logbook. Power back. It's just the red lights before anything else. So I did the PPL in hours, but I did have a bit more gliding experience as well, so don't read into that too much. Should be achievable in 45 hours, but don't make it a top priority. If you get there in 50 or 55, it doesn't matter, especially breaks in training don't help. Doing lessons once a week really drags things out. If you can smash it, if you can get a week's course in and smash that along, you'll find that really, really useful, in my opinion. So that would be one tip. If you've got, obviously you've got the money for it, so the money isn't an issue. But if you can do 2 weeks solid flying, you can move her up easily 20 hours without doing, you know, without breaking too much of a sweat. If you've got the exams out of the way and don't have to worry about them, it's ideal. Yeah, so just get solo, build up your confidence, build up your experience, do things that are different, and just go from there. Yeah, that's all I can say. And then it's an expensive oyster for you. And so yeah, like I say, I mean, over the period of time, 2005, 12 hours, and then nothing until 2010, when I did another 10 or 15, finally in 2011, just in August, finished off and done, pretty much. Yeah, over the period of a couple of weeks. So you just get ready for the test and then crack on. Whoa, here we go. There's the aeroplane turning. Another 10 minutes. That's not looking great, is it? Yeah, well, I hope you do enjoy it, and like you say, that's the way to look at it. You know, like I say, if it takes you a bit longer, don't worry about it. Don't worry about how long people take to do their first solo either. Just get there, be happy, enjoy your ground school, read up on it, make some good notes, understand it as well. That's what I'd say. And one of the biggest tips I can give you is, if you've got an instructor who you don't quite necessarily click with, don't be afraid to speak up if it's really not working. Find somebody else. A good instructor won't take it personally. One of the best, well, a very good instructor that I knew, he had a student that just didn't get him, and the student was really worried about, saying, I'm not performing well, and I just don't get what he says, and was really afraid to speak to him. So I had a word, and he was absolutely fine about it. So, you know, a good instructor will take that, bear it in mind. But yeah, feel free to come back for any tips, and I can introduce, well, try not to introduce any bad habits for you. But good luck with it all. And, hopefully you'll get some flying in over the winter, which is now starting, so make the most of it, and good luck. Good to see you, take care. And then, got to start thinking. We are currently going 5 to 6. MALIT is 6. And so in about 30 miles, get about starting to slow down. It's Foxtrot, 240 at 9. 6 miles in haze, a few clouds at 15, few at 14,000, scattered at 18,000, 2996, 22 degrees, still 24 right, 25 left. And I guess the transponder's on the ground, cool. God, we're still turning. It's all over the place, isn't it? He's going to see this and think, what are we doing? So let's have a bit of a better intercept. Try 5 degrees rather than going through it all the time. What's interesting is plane doing leveling off. Okay, that might work. Pretty bad intercept there. So,
Auto throttle off.
So it gets about 93, but I could be wrong. Maintain height until we start slowing. So start tuning in. 114, I think. Catalina VOR. So we're going to look for 350 and then pitch hold it down to 36. So center 1258. Let's check we got that tuned. Yes. .338 we're not picking up yet. There we go, let's get the airplane descending. Might be a little bit keen. See how we go. Oh, there we go, about 3,000 feet a minute. Yeah, that's looking alright. Should work out. 6 minutes to go. .18,000 feet. 3638. I think good enough.
right at gate 171. It's at 171 heavy, runway, expect runway 24 right. Roger, expect 24 right at gate 171. Webjet 9140, Los Angeles Airport, 1 o'clock, 13 miles, reported site. Our parking site, Webjet 9140. Webjet 9140, thank you. Cleared visual approach, runway 24 right. Cleared visual approach, runway 24 right, sorry. Webjet 9140. American 311 clears you active in San Diego. American 311, thank you. Contact ground 123.9er. 23.9.
Well, he hasn't said message yet.
Southwest 1094, leaving my airspace, Albuquerque Center closed. Frequency change approved. Have a good flight.
Los Angeles Center, good afternoon. Speedboat Concorde 613 heavy.
Speedboat 613 heavy, LA Center, go ahead.
LA Center, hello. Speedboat Concorde 613 heavy. We are inbound to MALIT, expecting a Lena 7 arrival into Los Angeles, expecting 25 left. Just to advise you that we are passing flight level 480, descending flight level 360 and decelerating. Direct MALIT.
Speedboat 613 heavy, roger. Squawk 7140, please.
Squawk 7140, Speedboat Concorde 613. So, I think we have to do 7.
Los Angeles Center, good afternoon, 1036, 2000, climbing 5000.
Yeah, 1036, LA Center, radar contact, climbing maintain flight level 370.
370, Unit 1036.
Let's just bring the power back to about.
American 1895, flighting 290 vectors, visual approach, runway 26 left. You're welcome to stay on the arrival if you'd prefer, and descend and maintain 8,000.
Okay, 290 heading down to 8,000 vectors for the visual for American 1895.
Descend via engine 4 arrival.
Yeah, 1036, turn left direct Clipper intersection and resume the Orca for departure.
Roger, left direct Clipper, resume the Orca departure at 1036.
Delta 443, traffic you'll follow, it's 12 o'clock, 12 miles at 6,000 at Airbus.
Southwest 1590, you're ready at Burbank.
Southwest 1592, wind variable 3 knots, runway 15.
Bit of a twitch there, that was interesting.
15, clear takeoff, Southwest 1590.
Delta 443, traffic you'll follow, 12 o'clock and 12 miles at 6,000 at A321.
We do have the traffic inside, but we have no EVGA.
Delta 443, roger, descend and maintain 3,000.
Down to 3,000, Delta 443.
There we go, that's not looking too bad. We're pretty much where we need to be.
Thank you, cross runway 26 right, taxi to gate.
Cross 26 right, taxi to gate at 1770.
So we'll be looking for Mac hold in a moment.
Speedbird 613 heavy radar contact, descend at pilot's discretion, maintain 2000, Los Angeles altimeter 29906.
Descend my discretion, altitude 12000, 29906. Speedboat Concorde 613, thanks.
Can we get please runway 25 left for landing?
Aircraft requesting runway 25 left, say again the call sign.
Thanks, Airline 008.
GD Airline 008, affirmative. After Circus intersection, cleared ILS, runway 25 left approach.
After Circus intersection, clear ILS approach 25 left. Thank you, thanks, Airline 008.
LA American 200 with you, 370.
American 200, LA Center, Rush, thanks.
American 364 back with you.
American 364, thank you, welcome back.
So there we are, back
And
to
364, contact
being
Open
normal.
Center 132.2.
132.2 open center, thanks.
So decimal 95 at MALIT
Webjet
worked out pretty good.
Los Angeles Tower 120.905.
Maybe we could have done it a little bit better. And called decimal 95. Bingo.
Southwest 1592, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and maintain 350, Southwest 1592, thanks.
So 72 miles. Guess it's not a long range VOR, the Santa Catalina.
Southwest 1592, turn right, direct Rave intersection, and resume the slot 2 departure.
Direct Rave intersection, and then continue east slap departure. Southwest 1592.
Etihad 171 heavy, turn left heading 060.
Turn left heading 060, 1.
Delta 443 traffic you'll follow is now 2 o'clock and
Oh,
7 miles.
that's my bad because we're not back on the INS, are we? Oh, there was MALIT. So, let's get back round over here. That was my bad. We are MALIT to GOATZ, so we want to go 6-7.
Delta 443, resume normal speed, turn right heading 160.
Normal speed, right heading 160.
And we should intercept.
443.
Etihad 171 heavy, turn right heading 070, descend and maintain 3000.
070, maintain 3000, and 170.
Let's keep that turn on and have a bit of a better intercept.
Hello, Center, confirm 070.
Etihad 171 heavy, affirmative.
Sure.
Delta 443, turn right heading 240.
240, Delta 443.
So, let's get the airplane coming down.
American 1895, descend and maintain 5000.
Down to 5,000 for American 1895.
American 1895, Las Vegas Airport, 11 o'clock, 20 miles, report in sight.
Okay, we're supposed to be on the side for
So,
American 1895.
Alto Choir is on.
November 903 Lima Echo, turn left heading 290, vectors visual approach, runway 26 left, descend and maintain 8000.
Up 290 for the vectors for the visual, down to 8,000, there's a 903 Lima Echo.
November 3 Lima Echo, if you prefer runway 19 left or right, just let me know.
Yeah, 190 would be a little better if we can.
November 3 Lima Echo, roger, fighting 290 then, and that's vectors for a visual approach, runway 19 right.
290 vectors for the visual, 190 right.
That should bring us round.
Delta 443 Los Angeles Airport is 12 to 1 o'clock and 10 miles, report in sight.
We'll call you when you have the airfield in sight, Delta 443.
Delta 443, roger, join the runway 24 right localizer, descend and maintain 2,200.
Again, the localizer, the 6000.
So, not sure if these should be switched, but I'm going to do it anyway. The approach.
United 49, roger, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 340.
Los Angeles Center, good afternoon to you. Orange Jet 21, 21,300 for flight level 250.
Got back on track. That's where we're going, Catalina.
Jet 21,
As LAX.
Delta 1706, radar frequency.
Yeah, we were just about to check in. Delta 1706.
Delta 1706, roger, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 360, Delta 1706.
American 1895, we have the field.
Delta 443, do you have the airport in sight? 12 o'clock, 6 miles.
Negative, all I can see is the hazy.
Delta 443, roger, cleared ILS, runway 24 right approach.
Street for Dallas, thank you. Delta 443.
Delta 443, contact Los Angeles Tower, 120.905.
120.905, see it.
Delta, correction, American 1895, clear visual approach, runway 26 left.
Clear to visual 26 left for American 1895.
So we want to switch to speed in a bit.
AZ 171, heavy fighting 090, these will now be vectors for the ILS, runway 24 right approach.
Shaking for Jet 171.
AZ 171, heavy fighting 090, and these are now vectors for an ILS, runway 24 right approach.
Gliding 090, upper vectors for ILS 24 right.
Auto throttle off.
LA Center, Southwest 604 with you, 350. Southwest 604, LA Center, roger.
So let's start getting her down.
604, requesting step away for just a minute. Southwest 604, approved, report back. Copy.
Pretty inefficient descent profile on my part.
And LA, Southwest 2217 into Ontario, we have the runway...
Those lighting effects aren't too bad.
Southwest 2217, affirmative, expect ILS runway 26 left approach. Expect 26 left approach, ILS approach, Southwest 2217, thanks.
So let's bring it back to 2. Actually, let's get some power on as well, because going down to 12, but I don't want to expedite it too much. So let's keep the speed up.
Center, good evening. JetBlue 624 with you, climbing through 2000 for 5.
JetBlue 624, LA Center, roger, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Up to 350, JetBlue 624.
So that's us.
Southwest 604, we're back.
Decepting.
604, thank you, welcome back.
It's not bad strobing from the clouds. Can live with that.
American 1895, wind calm, runway 26 left, clear to land.
Copy, winds are clear to land, runway 26 left, American 1895.
So we're going to have to start slowing at some point.
Center, Learjet 93 Lima Echo, Las Vegas.
Set 290 because we're
Learjet
too
93
slow.
Lima, or 93 Lima Echo, thank you very much. Clear visual approach, runway 19 right.
Clear visual 19 right, 93 Lima Echo.
Orange 2, I'm requesting step away for about 5 minutes.
Learjet 21, roger, clear visual approach, report back.
So 115, 7 with 328. So I am going to set the altimeter now.
We're at 71 heavy, turn right heading 160.
Minimums for the approach 200. Can't do anything on the barrow.
For us, we did 171 speed.
Takeoff 171
Some a
heavy,
bit
right
higher.
heading 160.
160, did 17.
It's a nice but hazy day in LA.
Southwest 2217, flight present heading and join the runway 26 left localizer, descend and maintain 5,000.
Alright, so maintain 5,000 to join the localizer, runway 26 left, Southwest 2217.
Speedbird 613 heavy, turn left heading 350 vectors for the ILS runway 25 left approach, descend and maintain 7,000.
Left heading 25. Sorry, can you say the heading again? It's runway 25 left and descend at altitude 7,000 feet. Speedbird Concorde 613.
Right back with you. Etihad 171 heavy, you're 5 miles from jet set, turn right heading 230, maintain 2,200 till established, cleared ILS runway 24 right approach.
20, fly heading and 2,200 feet at Etihad 171, and we just established on localizer at Etihad 171.
Speedbird 613 heavy, turn left heading 350, descend and maintain 7,000.
Left heading 350, descend and maintain 7,000. Speedbird 613 heavy. So,
Los Angeles Center,
Brad,
just
track.
35,000 for 5,000 next, we're only with you.
Vectors 25 left.
420 LA Center, roger, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 330.
330 on there for 20.
So we might go to about 360 is okay. We really want 350. Don't want to acquire it just yet.
Southwest 2217, 2 miles from Taco, maintain 5,000 till established on the localizer, cleared ILS runway 26 left approach.
So 40 miles out. That's LA.
Until established, 26 left, ILS approach, Southwest 2217.
Trim's still good.
171 heavy, contact Los Angeles Tower, 120.95.
Contact Los Angeles Tower,
Fuel trim to
120.95.
descent.
LA Center, American 1895, we're clear of 26 left, only show 26 right for the Delta terminal.
American 1895, thanks for the reminder, cross runway 26 right and taxi to your gate.
Cross 26 right to the gate, American 1895.
Speedbird 613 heavy, turn left heading 330 and expedite your descent, please.
Left heading 330, expedite descent to 7,000. Speedbird 613. Let's use vertical speed and idle power. We can use the brakes if we can use the reversers if we need to. So let's try that.
Reverser deployed.
FedEx 2010, contact Oakland Center 132.2, have a good flight. FedEx 2010, switching 32.2, see you.
Taxi Airlines 008, sorry, we're back. Our stream has crashed, but see you also type. We're back, we're still standing on the 4 arrival for 925 left.
TD Airlines 008, roger, descend via Angel 4 arrival and cleared ILS runway 25 left approach.
Angel 4 arrival and cleared ILS 25 left approach as Taxi Airlines 008.
So we'll go IAS hold.
Son, I'm in the Echo for Mala first.
Number 3 Lima Echo, roger, wind calm, runway 19 right, clear to land.
Right, quick away, I'm running through Lima Echo.
JetBlue 25.
Auto acquire is on.
Number.
JetBlue 2531 is 0.767.
JetBlue 2531, roger, descend via Angel 4 arrival and if able, maintain Mach 0.80 or greater.
I descend by the Angel 4 arrival, 0.80 or greater for the descent.
It's 10,000, not quite 250.
JetBlue 809, same Mach number.
Lights on.
We're doing 78,
JetBlue 809, roger. If able, maintain Mach 0.74 or less. Descend via Angel 4 arrival.
So we can go vertical speed at this point.
Speedbird 613 heavy, descend and maintain 5,000.
Descend and maintain 5,000, speedbird 613 heavy. Yeah, that's vertical speed, 5,000, 290, 25 miles. Let's get the approach plate up. And he's vectoring us, which is great. So that's just the DME 1099 we can tune.
Southwest 2217, runway 26 left, quick to land.
Crew land, 26 left, Southwest 2017.
So heading lock. I think it's quite picking it up. 25 left, yeah. Yeah, that might help.
Turn right when able, taxi to parking.
Roger, left tonight, relay back, clear 1 on our right, back to parking.
Number 3 to Metro, roger, taxi to parking.
Roger there.
Southwest 2217, runway 26 right, taxi to parking.
Alright, right, cross,
Fuel trim 2,
26 right,
landing.
and over to parking, Southwest 2017.
Is that any better?
LA Center, Southwest 604.
Okay, that's us through the localizer.
LA Center, Southwest 604.
Left heading 230, speedbird 613. Okay, and we are going to capture the glide in a minute.
Oscar November 21, are you comfortable to see?
LA Center, Southwest 604.
Southwest 04, go ahead.
Southwest 604, my clear to descend.
Southwest 04, that's going to be a Rocker 2 arrival, the Burbank altimeter 2992.
2992 on the altimeter, clear to descend, thank you. Orange Jet 2, I'm back with you.
Roger, Orange Jet 2 on descend via Ironman 2 arrival, the Los Angeles altimeter 2994.
Okay, roger that, we will descend.
So I think the localizer is going to come in a moment.
Orange Jet 2 on.
We got 4 miles from Honda, fly heading 230.
How do you hear?
It's a bit broken, but I got the text. Fly heading 230. Descend and maintain 3000 until established. Cleared RS 25 left. Thanks. Speedbird 613.
Okay, gotcha. Southwest 604, descend, we're good to you as well. how the voice sounds. It seems like it's deteriorating.
So the
Sounds
mist
like packet loss or something.
is 2000.
Okay, thanks.
Go vertical speed for a moment.
3,000 feet.
Tower 12095, thanks for the service, and see you again soon. Speedbird 613, bye bye. Well, that was maintain 3 as well, wasn't it? So, out acquire at 2 if we have to. I'll come back in nicely. Los Angeles Tower, good afternoon. Speedbird Concorde 613, heavy established, ILS 25 left, 9 miles.
Speedbird Concorde 613, LA Tower with wind 25012, runway 25 left, clear to land.
Clear land 25 left, Speedbird Concorde 613.
Hello, we're going to park here.
There we go, now we're on the approach.
You can park anywhere you like along that
8
line.
miles, 220. Let's update those bugs. Get the gear down in a bit. Oh, that was a fraught of a disaster.
Gear coming down. Gear down.
Well, there is the airport. There is the airplane twitching all over the place though. So we would be waking some people up. Waking the dead up. I'm not keen on this, but we'll go with it because you can't quite see. There you go.
Autopilot off.
500 feet.
Whoa, that dropped.
LA Tower radio check. 5x5.
Good afternoon, sir. Southwest
Continue.
2600, looking to pick up our IFR to Las Vegas.
200.
Auto throttle off.
Southwest 2600, LA
100
Tower,
feet.
clearance coming via PDC.
30. 40. 20.
A bit floaty.
Contact. Reverser deployed.
Oh, that wasn't too bad. Get on the brakes. So used to doing reverse idle that I never really throttle it up.
Reverser retracted.
Speedbird Concorde 613, welcome to LA. Cross runway 25 right at Lima, then taxi to parking via Bravo Kilo.
Whoa. Thanks very much. Cross runway 25 right via at Lima and then parking via Bravo and Kilo. Speedbird Concorde 613, thanks. I'm going to have to figure out where Lima is. Standard taxi routes, we've got airport info. Is this Lima? Okay, so this is listed as Tango. I think it's Lima.
Sorry, say again?
Yeah, looks okay to me.
So they said contact you. This is Orange Jet 21, descending on Merriman 1 arrival for Los Angeles. Orange Jet 21, you're a little far for me to be concerned with you right now.
So the scenery's a bit out.
You're established on the final approach.
Sure. Do you have a preference for the runway you guys are using today?
It's 24 right and 25 left are active, whichever is closer to your parking.
Roger, thank you.
LA Tower, good day, it's ACR 9008 with you.
So, international terminal.
Established localizer 25 left.
Aircraft calling, say call sign.
Tahiti Airline 008.
Tahiti Airline 008, heavy, LA Tower, the wind's 25012, runway 25 left.
So, we're then going to go second left.
Tahiti Airline 008.
And that looks like some, oh, I thought it was company traffic, never mind. Go park up next to an A380, the aeroplane that almost bankrupted Airbus. Big 4-engine jets that are now obsolete. A bit like this Marvel. Well, certainly wasn't as sketchy as last time. Maybe it's just the takeoff trim that's so bad. Oh. What do we reckon? Any of these? Bit of construction going on, which is quite cool. Take the next one. Could have been better. 150 looks like it'll do us. Let's see if we can park it a bit better. Let's try something like that. Bingo. On stand, welcome to LA.
65558, request taxi.
Southwest 6558, Squawk Commercial Color, please.
Squawk Charlie 6568, F58.
$338. Interesting.
Southwest 6558, runway 25 right, taxi via Bravo.
4 point runway 26 right, 25 right, Southwest 6558.
So I'm not going to shut everything down, just because I want to get that replay on. LA Tower, thanks very much for the service. Beaver Concorde 613 shutting down stand 150. Have a great day, bye bye.
Yeah, have a good one too, thank you for coming by, see you.
16 tons of fuel, ticking away. So let's get the projectFLY complete.
604,
Landing 138. Yeah, okay. It felt like a good one. I'll take that.
Station calling, what's up?
What's up?
604, just wondering, do you want me to stay with you for my approach to Burbank?
Okay, so we are disconnected, which is a shame because it'd be fun to have a look around at some traffic. I suppose we can always reconnect. So, let's have a look at, I don't have to do anything else, let's have a look at the replay. Oh, I've been sat here talking for ages. have a look at this touchdown. Take that. A little bit of a bounce and a skip. Used up a fair amount of runway, but I think I could get it stopped a bit quicker than that. Get the reversers out early, get on the brakes heavy. Okay, technically bounce, but hey, it's alright. We're getting there. Well guys, welcome to LA. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry about the sounds in the replay. The airport looks good. A good bit of ortho. Shame about the taxiways. Hello. Yes, that did happen. The rudder steering on the ground, on the runway is pretty bad. That was the rudder, not the tiller. So something isn't quite right, but hey, I guess I got the hang of it. Anyway, look, they're just taxiing back. I suppose the lights needed on landing. Let's get back in the cockpit and do that, so let's get those down. Oh, that's better. See that a bit closer. Shame about the sounds. Pretty cool. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that trip. Ooh, finally a bit of smoke again. I think we will probably be off to Honolulu, although what I do want to do is a few supersonic across the US. Unrealistic, but coast to coast on the US in about 2 hours, because obviously it doesn't take that long. I think they're normally about a 5-hour flight. So knocking that down and doing, you know, LA to New York or San Francisco to New York, supersonic overland, see if VATSIM, anyone on VATSIM gets upset, but I think those would be quite interesting. But I think our next trip will be to Honolulu, and then, hey, we might head over towards Australia. I don't know. Maybe it'll be more fun to go to New York and then back to San Francisco, and then back on to Honolulu, and then continue around the world. I haven't quite decided, but I'll try and get a few flights in this week, seeing as we're not allowed to go to the pub anymore. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see some more, I'm going to try and be a bit more regular on the streams, and now it's winter, it's probably a bit more likely. So please hit the sub, and until next time, look after yourselves, take care, and bye-bye for now. Thanks for watching.